toilet wine turns out is a misnomer. The toilet is mostly a hiding place, and God knows it is not really wine, right? And Sean Diddy Combs is not the first prison inmate to get busted with it, allegedly. But Diddy may be the first to have once owned a vodka brand worth upwards of $1 billion. That would be Ciroc, which sold officially earlier this year for a fraction of that price. Ciroc is distilled 5 times from the finest French grapes, or so it claims. Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples. And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff, this week in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit apparently as punishment, but the officials changed their minds according to the report. But that still leaves the question of Diddy's alleged newfound sobriety, which he made such a big point of emphasizing when he was sentenced, and whether this will have any impact on that sentence. Joining me now with his hard-won expertise on all of this is our friend Gene Borrello, a former mob enforcer and ex-federal inmate. Gene, I have been dying to talk to you about this. Every time I hear toilet wine, I keep thinking, do you stir it in the toilet? And if so, how is it clean? And how on earth do you make a duty? But I have come to learn, no. So for our audience, can you explain what it is and how it's made?
Yeah, so it's called hooch. Basically, it's different ways to make it. You can make it with orange peels. You can make it with sugar. It's all different ways. But what a lot of people don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it can blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. But it can get you drunk, and it can also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know as far as them saying he's going to move him out of the unit. I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits. And also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober? He'd been working, on a sobriety at the MDC, and now he's at Fort Dix. And if this is true, if the report's true, might they say, well, screw it, you're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence?
Right, so it don't work like that, but every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is two different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back. So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back, or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
Okay, let's get back to making it. I know you gave me the ingredients.
Right.
I want you to tell me how you put them together in the burping, which is interesting. But before you do that, how is the toilet involved? Because in my mind, whenever I heard toilet wine, I imagine an inmate stirring, the hooch in the toilet bowl, but that's not it.
Right.
So explain what actually happens.
Well, they usually get a big garbage bag, like a big clear bag. I've seen it done in a garbage bag, and they'll put it in the toilet and then let it sit in there. You know what I mean? They won't actually put it in the toilet bowl. You get what I'm saying? With the water. You know what I mean, right? You're not actually stirring it
in the bag, in the tank, yeah. So it's in a bag and it's hidden in the toilet tank, not in the toilet bowl.
Not in the toilet bowl.
And
yeah.
that's just.
It takes a while.
Good
to make.
distinction.
It takes a while to make. It's not just an overnight thing. This takes days to make it. And remember, it smells really bad, so you have to have a good hiding spot. It's very strong.
Oh, it does smell. Okay, so that's the other thing. So the toilet tank is what you're hiding it from the view of the guards, not necessarily the temperature of the toilet tank is, optimal for the fermentation of the lovely hooch, But so they put it in the toilet tank, and then how does the toilet tank fill up with water to flush? You pull it out, do your business, and flush, and then put it back in?
Yes. So, like I said, these people that usually do make it are very good at it, and they actually charge to make it. So in prison, in federal prison, everything's a business. So he probably paid somebody to actually hold that in their cell and make it for his birthday. I guess it was his birthday that came up, and they will make this alcohol beverage for you. But what's confusing to me is that when you're in the feds, usually there's a crooked CO that'll just bring you in an actual bottle of vodka. So I don't know why they even made it.
Serious?
Yes.
Dang. buying the toilet wine. I feel like Diddy wouldn't have to buy it. There'd be a lot of people who'd want to be friends with Diddy, and they'd be handing it over. Really?
No, they know how much money he has. Everybody's so happy that he's in the jail right now because they see currency. So all they're doing right now is going up to his cell and trying to sell him everything that they have possible. Actually, trying to get on salary with him to make his bed, clean his cell, go extra shopping for him, extra phone calls, cell phones, anything they can. They're all going to his cell trying to sell something to him because they know he has money. They do it to everybody with money in those jails.
Wow, that's something. Let me quickly read the statement that Diddy's team put out when TMZ broke this news, because they really stopped short of denying it. But this is what they said. Mr. Combs is in his first week at FCI Fort Dix and is focused on adjusting, working on himself, and doing better each day. As with any high-profile individual in a new environment, there will be many rumors and exaggerated stories throughout his time there, most of them untrue. We ask that people give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth with grace and purpose. Here's the question. Do most people screw up in just the first few weeks? Because I think he's only been there less than 2 weeks.
But like I said, everyone does. Prison, when you get with your people, so in the feds, he's hanging out with all the New York guys. The feds are very segregated, so you're going to go with your own. So in the federal system, he's with the New York car. They call it cars. So he's with his car, which is the New York car, and he's with all his New York guys. And whatever's going on in that car, he's a part of it and hanging out with everybody. So if they're all drinking hooch, they're all doing this, that's just what goes on. He's going to be with his guys, and, you never know what's going to be going on with them. And people tend to get in trouble a lot in these prisons. Very easy.
Gene Borrello, I would be in your car any day of the week. I can't tell you how much I learn from you every time you're on. Thank you so much for always schooling me on this, and I appreciate you sharing and being candid.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Actually, have me on.
You have a good weekend. All right, coming up, folks, a chicken farmer walks into a bar in an open